Good afternoon. I am Michael Lee, WHS Manager. Today I'm presenting a strategic roadmap to secure the long-term stability and integrity of XYZ Disability Services. We have reached a growth inflection point where our current operational model is creating systemic fragility. This is our roadmap to professionalize the governance. XYZ Services has built a strong reputation since 2017, culminating in our nomination as a finalist for Best Service Provider 2025 seen in North Shore. However, rapid growth has strained our system. Over six group homes and two community centers, we support our clients with 153 staff members, 83% of whom are casual. We are a sector leader, but we must adapt our infrastructure to match our scale. We recently completed our 2025 annual engagement audit with a strong participation rate of 81.7%. That's 125 out of 153 employees. But the results were sobering. The one-star rating is an aggregation of a qualitative sentiment analysis and in negative delta between employee expectations and policy adherence. High participation here is not a sign of health, but of system mobilization within informal networks. The workforce is highly communicative, but the communication is currently bypassing formal management channels. So, recent 2025 WHS regulation amendment changes place a heavy focus on preventing psychological injury at work. Psychological injury claims account for approximately 12% of all serious workers' compensation claims in Australia, representing a nearly 100% increase over the last decade. With median compensation for these claims roughly four times higher than physical injuries, proactive management of psychological hazard is no longer just a best practice. It is a critical legal mandate and a fiduciary necessity for the board. To lead effectively, we must understand our social topography. We are a diverse organization across age, culture, and language. With 95% of our frontline workforce operating from a non-English linguistic background, our formal governance systems are built on complex, English-dominant frameworks that do not match this frontline reality. The systemic silence, the misalignment, we see occurs because we haven't built an accessible bridge for this demographic to communicate with management. If our channels don't reflect our people, we lose access to the operational truth. We all know about formal and informal hiring, pros and cons of them. In the 2024-25 financial year, one employee recruited through formal HR channels, 25 were brought in through informal referral networks. This 25:1 ratio is our most critical risk factor. Inside the network have become the primary loyalty point, forming autonomous silos where management visibility is near zero. We are currently operating a shadow recruitment engine that prioritizes social connection over objective merit. Our organization is defined by informal networks, family, friends, and referrals. While these build a cohesion, They create a shadow structure that bypass formal oversight. Official reports suggest compliance, yet the frontline reality is defined by unrecorded workaround. Staff are forced to choose between care delivery and administrative compliance. The one-star survey result is a declaration of independence from this bureaucracy. We must migrate this energy back to formal authority. So we are running on ad hoc, informal communication, creating two existential risks. First, regularity failure. If we cannot document it for a regulator, it did not happen. Second, performance collapse. Our best people are leaving because they are fighting a system that ignores their daily reality. We see this in roster hijacking, where desirable shifts are shielded by friends, and tactical absenteeism, where high call-in rates occur for heavy shift, while social shift remains fully staffed. So this performance gap disconnect between social media presence and shift call-ins, erosion of trust, create a two-tier workforce culture. Our topography is also defined by informal networks. We mentioned before, family connections, friendship, and referrals. While these build team cohesion, they also create a shadow structure. When these networks dominate critical shift, we lose objective oversight. Decisions start being made based on loyalty rather than policy. This is the root of our systemic silence. When the network protects its own, the official truth is hidden. Rapid growth has fostered closed-loop network, while cohesive these bypass formal oversight and erode meritocracy. We must look at the legal precedence of a Fair Work Ombudsman versus Yenida 2018 case, where shadow structures and favoritism resulted in significant penalties. That was over $288,000. When nepotism replaces meritocracy, governance collapse follows. We cannot allow our cohesion to become a legal liability. So to find the right way forward, I reviewed several industry standard diagnostic models. So choose the right tool. Then, while models like McKinsey's 7S or Burke-Ledwin are useful for massive corporate restructuring, they require a level of diagnostic complexity that would be counterproductive for our specific goal. The fixing the micro process breakdown between our shadow network and our former HR governance. So I applied Nadler Tushman congruence framework to audit XYZ as a system. The diagnostic reveals a critical disconnect. Our former organization seeks NDIS compliance and data-driven stability, while our informal organization is a defensive culture rooted in founder loyalty and fear of error exposure. This incongruence is the root cause of our reporting noise and operational fragility. The diagnostic reveals a critical disconnect between two pillars: formal organization and informal organization. So result as incongruence leading to noise in reporting and operational fragility. So to ensure successful implementation, stakeholders have been mapped based on their influence and expectations. The paired with the targeted communication strategies designed to lower resistance. For frontline workers, we focus on clinical shield, an eye care effect approach, where they co-design the system to ensure autonomy. For middle management, we frame data as a resource allocated asset, allowing them to secure budget and headcount. For executive leadership, we focus on risk mitigation, demonstrating how accurate frontline data prevent catastrophic legal and operational failure. To address this, we are introducing robust policies such as conflict of interest and the fair recruitment standard. We are not removing the community or the passion. We are removing the arbitrary nature of how we manage it. The clinical shield creates a safe environment where merit, not proximity to the founder, is what determines career progression, protecting staff from pressure of informal influence. We are formalizing communications through the nomination of health and safety representatives. These roles replace unstructured, volatile shadow networks with a robust, codified frameworks, and HRs served as the official two-way conduit for frontline consultation, ensuring critical safety intelligence flows directly to executive governance and shifting our safety posture from reactive compliant handling to proactive resolution. So based on our Nadler-Toshman diagnosis, these three pillars are interdependent levels for realignment. Structurally, we will formalize the hierarchy of reporting to decentralized control. For HR, we launched the Clinical Shield workshop to protect the staff from liability, and culturally, we must shift from a defensive to a just culture where founders reward the reporting of errors rather than just perceived success. They must move in unison. And I anticipate resistance from those protecting informal networks. But we review this pushback as valuable diagnosis data. We will use HSR committee to roll out the plan. If they build it, they won't fight it. We are framing this as a frontline driven safeguard, not management driven surveillance. If a group reaches the clinical shield, it tells us that our communication is failing them. We will use that friction to iterate our rollout strategy until it aligned with their needs. Once again, this is a frontline driven safeguard, not management driven surveillance. So ultimately, this transformation is about future proofing our organization. By replacing opaque shadow network with a transparent governance conduit, we are building a foundation that protects our staff, ensures our compliance, and secures our long-term sustainability. We are moving from a reactive state to a resilient professional entity. XYZ Disability Services has a bright future, but our current structure is a liability. Let us professionalize our governance, protect our people, and ensure our success. Thank you very much for attending the presentation. I'm now open for your questions.